Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Josh Hughes, and I'm with Brad the Dad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We have a great episode coming up for you. We're going to talk about all the games that happened, some pickups that you need to make, and then some injuries. There weren't a lot of injuries today, which was great. And then there were some games that definitely affected my weekend, like that Rams-Packers game. That one really sealed the deal on my important big dollar league. So awesome. And I lost to Pat, but he's not here because he's busy celebrating the Red Sox. Probably going to win the World Series. They're 6 outs away. So how you doing, Brad?
I'm doing great, Josh. Thanks for that nice intro.
Oh, thanks.
It's been a good week. Fantasy teams aren't completely killing me. A lot happier than I was last week.
Most of mine are. So unless Julian Edelman has a 30-point game tomorrow night, I'm going to lose to Pat. So there's that.
But your super team's winning, right? The super team?
The super team is doing very well. It looks like I might pull out a W in that one. Very excited. Might be the only league I win in. But hey, it's a super team, so.
One win's better than no wins.
That's right. Well, while you're busy taking notes, I will go ahead and start off with the first game. And I'm going to start with the Jets and the Bears. So that was a real barn burner. No, it was a typical boring Bears offensive game. Mitchell Trubisky completed about half of his passes, but the story here is what he does with his legs. I think he creates a lot in the offense here, running the ball 51 yards. He's the second leading rusher for quarterbacks, or he might be the first after this weekend.
I believe he's first.
Yeah, so he uses his legs a lot. This weekend, Trey Burton was kind of a dud. None of the receivers really had a great game. But Tariq Cohen, that guy, him and Jordan Howard, both of the backs did pretty well.
Yeah, Jordan Howard got that touchdown, which kind of saved his day a little bit there. It was kind of scary till that point. And
then Tariq Cohen had a 70-yarder.
Yeah, which, if you watch that highlight, there was nobody on the field. I think the Jets rushed up 12.
Yeah, and this was two rookie Well, Trubisky's not a rookie, but yeah.
Two young quarterbacks.
Two very young
unpolished
quarterbacks. Sam Darnold, I think before halftime or around halftime, they had both only thrown, 10 passes apiece?
Yeah, it was not. It was pretty ugly. Like you said, even for Trubisky, his legs kind of saved the day for him.
It wasn't a great offensive game. I mean, there's really nothing to write home about. I think the big story here is Elijah McGuire. Whenever he comes back, he could add another element to this Jets offense that could be very helpful. But right now, it wasn't a really exciting game. 24-10 Bears. Bears are on. I think if Minnesota loses this game, the Bears will be back on top in the division.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll go out to London here, and we'll talk about Eagles and Jaguars. So like always, I'm wrong about everything I talk about. So Blake Bortles called for 4 touchdowns.
British Bortles.
Not so much.
You sound like you're from London.
Carson Wentz had 3 touchdowns, though, so maybe I was close. Maybe my psychic was off just a little bit. Problem is with the Eagles offense, these running backs, they're still... I mean, Corey Clement had a good game through the air and got a touchdown, but that was really it.
They were using another back today.
Yeah, Josh Adams, their other back they have.
Oh, my gosh. And then... But he fumbled, right?
Probably.
He did. So they were trying to close out the game, run the ball, and they were giving it to him. They were feeding it to him instead of Corey Clement or Wendell Smallwood, and he fumbles. And people kind of wonder why the Eagles have a tendency to throw the ball a little bit more. It's because they really don't trust any of their running backs.
I'm sorry, I was backwards. It was Wendell Smallwood with a good game through the air, not Corey Clement.
Yes, of course.
So Wendell Smallwood had 2 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. 8 carries for 24 yards, which math, that's not good. Jacksonville, though, their running backs are just as bad. Blake Bortles led the way with 8 rushes, 43 yards.
Oh, my gosh. He wasn't benched.
No, he wasn't.
That's a plus.
But TJ Yeldon in that fourth quarter caught a bunch of passes on their drive.
But Blake Bortles didn't decide to play well until the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah, he threw the ball 41 times and didn't break 300 yards.
Yeah, it was ugly game. Carlos Hyde, pretty much a waste of a trade on that. But TJ Yeldon still had a pretty good game in PPR.
He did. That's what I'm saying. He has 7 catches for 83 yards. D.D. Westbrook had a touchdown, which helped his day out.
I don't think you're starting any of these guys anyway.
No, but on Philadelphia's side, Jordan Matthews 4 for 93. Is this just beating up on that Jacksonville defense that's a little hurt and going away from Jalen Ramsey?
Hurt and arrested. Yeah, I think that there was a report that came out that two of them were starters and two of them were backups. They were out in a bar in London, got into a little bit of a fisticuff. NFL put out a statement saying they were detained, but the official report from London said that they were, in fact, arrested. So I think the NFL has just kind of covered that up a little bit. But
they were all released at the end of the night, though. I mean, I think they just had a big bill they didn't pay, and they paid it. And
yeah.
And I think the bar just said, whatever, they're good.
Well, you're making plenty of money. You can pay that bill.
You would think.
Maybe they were out there popping bottles on them. But yeah, this Jacksonville defense is beat up, and I think that they definitely need this bye week.
Yeah. I mean, your touchdowns on the Eagles side. Wendell Smallwood, which maybe somebody started. Zach Ertz, which probably everybody started. And then Dallas Goedert, 1 catch for 32 yards and a touchdown.
It was really, even though Carson Wentz threw for 286 yards, it was kind of an underwhelming day for everyone that you started, including Zach Ertz. I think 4 for 26 is not what you're looking for at Zach. The tight end really the touchdown really saved his day, but it was underwhelming.
Very underwhelming. That's really about it about this game. Is I don't know what's going to happen both these running back situations. They're both on a bye next week, so
it's messy. Maybe Leonard Fournette comes back after the bye.
Maybe, and he's back for about 20 plays.
And I think that they've definitely got the idea now that T.J. Yeldon can definitely handle the passing down work. He's very talented in that aspect. All right, now on to Seattle and Detroit. Wow, Russell Wilson was so efficient. He was playing like a man on fire today. When they get that running game going, Seattle's pretty good.
They are. It was a little surprising.
It's the first time they've had a real running game in a few years since Marshawn Lynch was it been 3 or 4 years since Marshawn Lynch was really
Marshawn Lynch, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
that was probably about it. So it shows how good they can be. Chris Carson had over 100 yards on the ground. Great day for him with a touchdown. He even had 2 catches. I think Chris Carson is definitely, we saw this last year before he got hurt. He's the real deal. 100%.
Is he a must start the rest of the season?
I think.
Because that's the question Chris Carson owners have. Is he a must start the rest of the season? Are you starting him over players like Mark Ingram?
No, I'm not starting over Mark Ingram.
Okay.
Because I think Mark Ingram's ceiling is higher.
What about Latavius Murray?
I would start Chris Carson over Latavius Murray, yes.
This is all if Dalvin Cook doesn't come back, obviously.
But there's a lot of guys like over any Buccaneer, I would start him over. So there's a lot of guys that I would start him over. But yeah, Chris Carson, he's the man. He is the man. Now, as far as the wide receivers go, Doug Baldwin, dud, complete bum.
What about Moore? I know we talked about it a few weeks ago. He actually got a little more targets because last time it was just 2 catches for 2 touchdowns. He got 4 catches, and a couple of those were really, really highlight-worthy plays.
It's just,
97 yards.
Big plays. None of these guys were really getting a lot of looks. Russell Wilson only threw 17 passes. He only had 3 incompletions. He had just as many touchdowns as he did incompletions. This is because his running game was working. So the Seahawks didn't really feel the need to throw the ball a lot. And I think if they continue to be effective in that manner, it's going to hurt a lot of these pass catchers. So I'm not really excited to go out and get more just yet.
What about Ed Dixon, though? This is serious because tight ends are so bad.
Well,
2 for 54, and he mossed a guy.
You got to pick up Ed Dixon.
The old man Ed out there.
Yeah, he's what, 30? Totally doing it out there. All right. Now, on the other side of the ball, Matt Stafford threw for 300 yards. Respectable day. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not a bad fantasy day.
That's not what I want to hear you talk about.
We even hear about Carry-On?
Yes.
Carry-On did not look great on the ground. This is the first time that he had the clear-cut lead role in the backfield, and he didn't do a lot with it on the ground, but through the air, 6 for 69.
Yeah.
PPR, he was great. Well, not great, but he was serviceable.
Marvin Jones.
I'm not going out and start Marvin Jones.
Oh.
No, I think Golden Tate is really the only guy you can start on a weekly basis. Even he only had 5 points in standard and 12 in PPR, but I don't trust Marvin Jones. I think that they were behind. They were behind early, looking to make some plays. Marvin Jones got that first touchdown, and then he scored the second one later on. But I'm not going out there and going to make a trade for him. If anything, you sell high on Marvin Jones.
Yeah, I think you can because it was a bust. Like one of the ones was Matthew Stafford running away from like 3 people and finding him down the field. That was the first touchdown, the 39-yarder.
So I think the guy we need to talk about here is Kenny Golladay. So this has been 2 kind of bum weeks in a row.
Yeah, but his past 2 weeks before this week, he had a touchdown called back. So they are trying to use him. It was just penalties got his touchdowns called back.
Today, 1 for 12 though.
Yeah, 1 for 12.
On
it's not
40
good.
pass attempts.
It's not good.
That's not good. I mean, are you taking him out? He's not a must start anymore, right? A flex option maybe at best.
Yeah, he only had 1 target. So when you're talking about
out of 40 attempts,
1 target.
And it's not like they have, world beaters at corner up there in Seattle anymore.
No, but yeah, I didn't watch a whole lot of this game, so I can't exactly tell you everything. But he did get as many targets as Amir Abdullah, so just think about that.
All right. Well, we will move on. What do you got next for us, Brad?
I got the Buccaneers at the Bengals.
Oh, that's going to be a fun game to talk about.
So the Bengals defense looks really good, thanks in part to Jameis Winston, even though they gave up 34 points.
4 interceptions, though. That doesn't...
And 1 to the house.
Right to the house. And that was the last one, right?
That was when they said, all right, Jameis, come over here and take a seat for a little bit. Let's clear your head.
What a sad day.
Yeah, but the Fitzmagic.
It was back.
Is the Fitzmagic back for good, or was this a one-time?
So, this is my take on this whole situation. And I've really been intrigued with Jameis. I watched him in college, as you know. I saw everything happen whenever he had that great year and they won the national championship. I actually got to see that game in person. Jameis has not improved one bit from college.
No, the commentators are even saying, like, I don't know what he sees down the field.
I don't think he can see down the field.
Supposedly they got him contacts, but I don't know if he's wearing them.
I think his depth perception is very bad. Jameis, I think between him and Mariota, those 2 guys who were drafted 1 and 2, they're always going to be paired together. I think both of them right now, especially Jameis, he looks like a bust.
Yeah, I really do want to watch this week, see what happens, see if they do stick with Fitzmagic. If they stick with Fitzmagic, I think it's a bump for all the wide receivers.
I think if Dirk Cutter wants to keep his job, he will have to start Fitzmagic. And if Fitzmagic is named the starter, you guys better get ready to throw out some D-Jacks if he's still on the team, because he did request a trade today.
He did, but then he got open on a 50-yard bomb.
Yeah, and Mike Evans did come up limping after a big play from Fitzmagic. So what happened is Jameis gets benched, and Fitzmagic immediately comes in the game and starts just slinging the ball.
Running, too. Did you see his little run he had, too?
The dude is incredible.
He was up there cheering and screaming. And
How is he not the starter? I understand he's like 38, 40 years old, but he's so much better than Jameis Winston. He's so much better.
He is, and he makes the whole receiving corps a lot better. Peyton Barber, he had a decent game.
I don't trust it.
19 for 85 and a touchdown.
No, I don't trust it.
Okay. And then, like we said, the wide receivers. Mike Evans had a huge game, 6 for 179 and a touchdown. O.J. Howard, almost 70 yards and a touchdown. And then D-Jax, almost 70 yards and a touchdown.
But see, the Evans and Howard were both because of Fitzmagic.
Yeah, so when Fitzmagic came in is when they both caught their touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, Jameis, he threw 1 to Humphreys. Humphreys is not to Humphreys.
No, it was a D-Jax. It was the one where D-Jax got like 40 yards past his defender.
Yeah, so that was the one. But Humphreys especially had 7 for 76. He's going to get a huge bump down if Fitzpatrick is your starter. But I don't. And Ronald Jones got hurt too, by the way. I don't know, man. I just think that this offense is so much more dynamic and so much more exciting with Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in Chris Godwin. He didn't have a good game at all. But, I mean, you can't be upset with all the numbers they threw up. Now let's move over to the Bengals side.
Okay.
So they started off super hot, right? Joe Mixon had himself a day.
Yeah, he did.
123, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he
also had 3 receptions.
Yep.
So
felt that. Felt all that.
Obviously, Mixon's been good when he's been healthy all year. Is he in the top 10 of running backs this year? With people like David Johnson and Zeke looking bad, does he propel up in this top 10?
Yes.
Do you put him above a David Johnson?
Right now, yes.
Yeah, I know we're all like really hoping that Byron Leftwich can fix David Johnson's problems, but
we saw a little bit of that today.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But I think Joe Mixon's for real.
It
is a very bad defense.
This is a very bad defense.
It is a very bad defense, but
very poorly coached unit. But yeah, I think that Joe Mixon is the real deal.
And then Tyler Boyd and AJ Green. AJ Green wasn't a great game, but it was a pretty good game.
Oh, Tyler Boyd,
and most of it was in the first half. Second half, he only got 3 more receptions, but he gave you such a cushion in the first half.
Straight boss. The dude was a straight boss today.
He was. I'm not giving him the drop, though.
Okay.
I'm not giving him the drop.
Okay, hey, it's your guy. If you don't feel like he earned it.
Problem is, if those people started Uzama.
Oh, he really busted your day.
Yeah, he did.
That was a total bust, dude.
And I think that was more just of the fact of the way the Bengals were moving the ball in the first half. The wide receivers were so open.
That's true. And then Joe Mixon, when he's running like that, and he kind of slowed down in the second half a little bit, which I was kind of surprised because I figured they would have kept using him to keep pounding it. And it just didn't happen that way for one reason or another. And I don't know, man. I thought this was a fun game. Came down to a last-second field goal.
So we're going to go to the next game, but I'm going to kind of throw Josh on the spot here, and we're going to flip-flop games real quick. And I'm going to give him the Broncos at the Chiefs, which he doesn't have on his list.
Okay.
Because he has pass lifts, but I'll let you talk about the Broncos and Chiefs because I know you probably watched this game.
And then you're going to take the Redskins and Giants?
Sure.
Oh, thank goodness. I actually watched this whole game. Why is Case Keenum the Broncos quarterback?
Because your backup quarterback got arrested and cut from the team.
Yep. That happened. Well, he was just hanging out at someone's house. It's not a big deal. He was just hanging out and they were drunk. And I guess there was a lady holding her baby on the couch, and he was just speaking incoherently, and the husband's like, what the heck is going on here?
And you're not a big enough name that people know who you are.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because if this had been down like Mississippi or something, they probably known exactly who he was.
Sorry, Swag Kelly. You are out, son.
He played Ole Miss, right?
Yeah, he was at Ole Miss, and that was after he got dismissed from his first college, which I can't remember what his first college was, but yeah.
Man, being Joe Kelly's son gets you really far, doesn't it?
He's not Joe Kelly. He's not.
He's his cousin or nephew or something.
That's his nephew.
Either way, it gets you far in life, doesn't it?
It did for a little bit. I think that's over now. But Case Keenum, man, what an awful day for Case Keenum. He's not been great. He's clearly a system quarterback. We saw that.
This ain't his system?
This is not his system. Minnesota, apparently, great system. Because it's working pretty well for Kirk Cousins too, but it did not work for Case. It's not working for Case Keenum up in Denver right now. Philip Lindsay had a great day. He did.
It was nice to see him get the majority of the work.
Great. Devontae Booker still interfered a little bit. We kind of expected that. 4 catches for him. He had a pretty decent day in PPR, but there was really no one to write home about. I mean, wow. Just wow.
Philip Lindsay. He's the only must start on this team. Even Emmanuel Sanders let you down.
Emmanuel Sanders let you down, but he's still going to be a must start based on the fact that
he'll be a wide receiver too.
He is currently a top 10 wide. He's a top 5 wide receiver in PPR right now.
This week or for
for the season?
Okay, so not for this week. This week he's
for the season though. So he's a must start.
But you need that touchdown. You're really hoping for that long touchdown from him.
Yeah,
for him to jump up to wide receiver 1 week to week.
Yeah, but he gets plenty of big plays. Now on the other hand, Sammy Watkins. Woo! If there was one guy who was gonna hurt my team this week, I wanted it to be him. And he was a straight boss today. 8 for 107 and 2 touchdowns. What a boss, dude.
He is. Are you selling him though? Value can't get much higher.
Yeah, I should probably sell him.
I mean, this offense, you want to keep stock in this offense. It's like owning stock in Apple when the iPod came out. Yeah,
so I think this is a product. Tyreek Hill was getting the number 1 corner a lot of the day. Sammy Watkins, but it almost seemed like they just wanted to get him to the ball. They just really wanted to feed him the ball, and I thought that was good. Kelsey had another great day. Tyreek Hill kind of busted your day a little bit, 3 for 70.
You know who busted some people's day? Kareem Hunt busting through that line and running over people and dragging people into the end zone on that shuffle pass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
I did.
I know it probably hurt you, but you got to respect that dude's just power.
He's very good at football. This entire Chiefs offense is scary. They could have scored more points than the 30 that they put up on Denver. And this game was not as close as it appeared. 30-23, Kansas City. But believe me when I tell you, this game was out of hand early in the second half. Very disappointing on my side. But sell Sammy Watkins if you can. Travis Kelce.
But if you're selling him, I'm selling him I'm trying to get an RB1.
Whew.
Or I'm buying in on a underperforming RB1 or.
So what kind of guy you talking about? Like Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, or are you talking about?
You could probably, if it's Dalvin Cook, I'm getting another piece with that. I'm getting a wide receiver to replace him too.
Ooh, you're getting a piece.
Because what has Sammy Watkins been doing? I mean, this is his third 100-yard game.
I don't think he's had that many. He's had some good games this year, but I don't believe he's had that many. So this is his second 100-yard game, but it's his third really good fantasy game. This is the best game he's had all year.
Yeah, but I don't know. Especially off this, I'm trying to sell him as high as possible. I'd go after David Johnson, who did have a concussion, so we're going to have to talk about that in a little bit. But
he was very concussed.
Maybe he's just tired of looking at that offensive line.
Oh, it's so bad.
Probably it'd give me headaches. Give me nightmares.
So bad. Okay, well, that's pretty much it from this game. Any notes you'd like to mention, Brad?
No. The Chiefs are really, really good.
The Chiefs are very good at football, and that defense is tightening up.
Yeah, it is. All right, so Redskins at the Giants.
Have fun with that one.
Yeah, you're welcome. Little late birthday present for you.
Oh, thanks.
So we'll talk about the one bright spot in this whole game. Adrian Peterson.
Which no one saw coming.
Caught a touchdown.
What? No one saw coming.
He was his only target, but he made it count. 1 for 7 yards and a touchdown. And then 26 yards, or 26 carries, 149 yards, and a touchdown. And that last touchdown was just straight putting the game out of reach. He said, Giants, you want to try to come back? I don't think so.
He is an RB2 for the rest of the season.
I do believe Chris Thompson was still banged up in this game, and Capri Bibbs were banged up as well, which did kind of roll into the fact of him getting 26 carries. And we've seen it when Adrian Peterson gets 25-plus carries, he usually has a pretty good game.
He just wears you down.
Other than that, though,
Nope.
Odell, 8 for 136. It'd been nice to see him get in the end zone, but those are still really good PPR numbers. Saquon saves his day with PPR numbers, like always, with 9 catches for 73 yards.
They can't throw the ball downfield.
And Evan Ingram didn't look bad. He had 5 catches, got a touchdown, not a lot of yards, but he did get that touchdown, which kind of, it was garbage time, but garbage time still counts.
In fantasy, absolutely. Can you trust Eli even to stream at all this season?
The Redskins, we did say, had a good defense. I didn't expect what we saw the week prior for Eli, but still.
I think Eli is done for fantasy, and he should be done in real life.
Yeah, I don't even know if they draft a quarterback yet, though, because that offensive line is so bad. Do you really want to get a rookie quarterback just killed back there?
Go get Teddy Bridgewater.
No, Teddy Bridgewater will die back there.
Please.
Everybody will die back there.
He is the best quarterback that is not starting.
What about Jordan Reed with 7 receptions? It was only 38 yards, but 7 receptions, 12 targets. He was the most targeted guy.
I don't put any stock into Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And his targets.
All right. That's really it about this game.
Can't do it. All right. So
Giants are bad.
Giants are very bad. And the NFC least, the Redskins are they're wrecking that division.
They are wrecking that division. They only have 2 losses, right? Yeah. They're 5-2.
So far, they have the third best record in the NFC.
Yep.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I know.
Google it. All right. So anyway, Baltimore and Carolina. Well, not a great game for Baltimore.
Cam Newton's good, isn't he?
Cam Newton is good at fantasy football, not great in real life football.
This game, his team looked like they did okay.
They did do very well. 36 points, 36-21 for Carolina, and Cam Newton, he's still, even against this defense, which we thought was one of the best defenses in the NFL.
No, it is the best. It was the best defense coming in with all the numbers. They were number one in sacks, yards, points.
Cam Newton, there's just so much going on in that offense. I think Cam Newton's a must start. The problem is his receivers is like you don't know which one to start.
Did you see the play at the end of the half? Riverboat Ron. They were acting like they were going to do a field goal. They took a delay game. Then they put the backup quarterback in there. It looked like they're going for a Hail Mary. And they went short to Greg Olsen. There was only 8 seconds on the clock, and Greg Olsen, it only took like 5 seconds, got out of bounds and got him in field goal range.
I did not see that.
Yeah, it was a whole weird thing. Like Cam wasn't even out there, so you thought they were just going to go for a crazy Hail Mary. Didn't want to get Cam hurt. It was the backup quarterback, and he just throws a little out route to Greg Olsen for 10 yards and gets him back in field goal range.
That's amazing. Yeah, this Panthers team, they were very aggressive today, and they didn't really run the ball that much. Christian McCaffrey only had 14 carries. 45 yards. What really saved his day was one rushing touchdown, and then he caught a touchdown on accident. He wasn't targeted. It hit, I believe it was Devin Funchess. Bounced off of him, right into McCaffrey's hands. Boom, saved his fantasy day. But DJ Moore, 5 for 90.
Yeah, and then his long run he had there, the one that was a pitch, and it hit like he didn't handle it right. I don't know if did you see that one?
Yeah.
Where he lost it, got it off the ground, and then went for like 19 yards.
Yeah.
He's not too bad either.
DJ Moore is going to be very good.
I think the thing that saved DJ Moore was Torrey Smith being out.
So,
because I think that's the role they want DJ Moore for, but Torrey Smith is the veteran that plays that role a little better.
So Greg Olsen, 4 for 56 and 1. Do you think he's back?
I think this is what you're going to get from Greg Olsen all year. I think his speed's going to be... He's not going to be fast. We already knew he was old and he wasn't going to be fast to begin with. Now that foot issue, do I think it's 100%? No, I don't think his foot will be 100% all year. But like we talked about before, this is probably his last hoorah.
Yes.
So he's probably trying to go on a high note. So he's going to play through the pain and everything and say, I can complain about my foot when I get out.
Yeah, he's going to be up in the in-out booth somewhere. Hopefully taking over Jason Witten's job. Yeah.
But just put both of them in the booth. How bad could it be?
Oh, it would be awful. It would be very, very awful. Flacco eventually got pulled from the game, and Jackson finished up the last drive. Lamar Jackson actually did very well. 4 for 5, threw a touchdown.
He did, and it was a nice touchdown pass, too.
Yeah, he's clearly the future.
He is. What about Alex Collins? Is he the lead back there?
He's the lead back, but it's not.
Or is he just the lead back this week?
No, he's been the guy for a little bit now. I mean, you got to think they're slowly phasing Buck Allen more and more out. He's not going in to the offense and being a bigger part of the plan. It's becoming more of Alex Collins' backfield. But 11 for 49, not really going to get it done. What saved it was the touchdown. He had 2 catches for 14 yards. Not a great day, but overall, he's still going to be an RB2 with some upside.
We finally got the tight end pick right with Baltimore.
Oh, you guys!
We didn't use the will, but we called for Hayden Hurst one more time.
Third time's a charm.
And we got it. 2 catches, 29 yards, and the touchdown.
The touchdown is what really made it because Mark Andrews, 4 for 31.
Whatever. Who got the touchdown?
John Brown, who you would think was a must start, 3 for 28, kind of a bust on that day.
We've been talking. There's no difference between John Brown, Robbie Anderson, Traquan Smith. They're the same, all the same type of player. You need that long touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, they're all the same. They're not going to get 10 targets.
Okay.
I really do. I like John Brown. He got 7 targets, but how many of his targets are just Joe Flacco throwing the ball away?
Okay, fine.
That's the way I feel about it. Okay.
No. Your game. Go ahead. Next.
No. My game. Next.
Next.
Browns at Steelers.
Oh.
It started off looking good for the Browns.
Oh.
They went up 6-0 in the first quarter.
Oh.
And then Big Ben said, hold on, wait. We're at Pittsburgh. Hold up. Forgot.
Wait, I'm a football player.
Okay. Hey, AB, go that way.
Oh.
And here's a dime for you. James Conner.
Oh.
He had himself a game.
In the second half.
But 146 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's not bad. Not bad.
No.
He's pretty good. Pretty good at football.
The only downside, I think, really to the whole Pittsburgh game was Juju. 4 for 33. But I think Pittsburgh just got up so much. Cleveland couldn't move the ball in offense. And that's just what happened. So these rumors, I kind of tweeted out about it. I want to talk to you about these rumors of Todd Haley getting fired from Cleveland.
I think the smart thing to do would be, if I were Hugh Jackson, to fire Todd Haley.
And blame him for the offense.
Yes, and then...
Even though you have 2 times as many wins as you've had in the last 2 years.
Well, then the owner should fire Hugh Jackson and then rehire Todd Haley as the head coach.
Yeah, because that's why I tweeted out. I was like, people saying Todd Haley's the problem and Hugh Jackson's going to run the offense. They had no offense coordinator the last 2 years. And remind me again how good that offense was?
It was very bad.
Very bad.
Still very bad.
So, yeah. Jarvis Landry had 8 receptions for 39 yards. Antonio Callaway finally got a touchdown.
Yep.
And, yeah, that's all I really...
I'm still not picking up Callaway. I'm very cautious with Landry. I think he's PPR. Nick Chubb, 18 for 65. Caught 2 passes. This was just a disappointing day for this offense.
All around, Duke Johnson got hurt early.
And they started out the gate hot with him, and I thought, okay, this is going to be one of those Duke Johnson games.
I wonder if the injury derailed that a little bit. I wonder if he was a little more banged up and was trying to play through it, but just wasn't fully healthy.
They're paying him to be the guy. So I don't know. This is a very frustrating situation for me. But, yeah.
Yeah, Steelers are pretty good at home. Big Ben, yep.
That's the only place he's good.
Well, yeah, that's true.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Not really.
All right, let's get on to a game that was very exciting to watch. Packers-Rams. What a fun game. Oh, my gosh.
Hey, did you know that being down 10 points was the most points the Rams have been down all year? Because the announcer said it like 18,000 times when they were down by 10 points.
No, I wasn't aware of that, Brad.
Okay, because that's all they talked about.
Is that like Showtime Mahomes?
It was almost as bad as that.
Okay, well, Troy Aikman was on that announcing crew, so.
He was.
So go figure. Devontae Adams, straight bossed it 5 for 133. And then, the best running back proved who he was again. Aaron Jones, 12 rushes for 86 yards and a 33-yard touchdown was part of that.
And hold on, the last Packer to touch the ball was Ty Montgomery, right?
Yes.
And how'd that work out for him?
Did not end well. What is Kirk Cousins doing? What is he? Okay. Oh, hey, there you go. Oh, well, that hurt you immediately. Anyway, Sorry, we just saw Kirk Cousins throw the ball to Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs immediately fumbled.
No, he was down.
He
was down.
So Aaron Jones is the clear-cut best running back in Green Bay, 100%. And that has to be evident to Mike McCarthy. One, Ty Montgomery doesn't need to be anywhere near football anymore, apparently. He only had 2 carries for 6 yards, 1 catch for 2 yards. He was in there on 2 or 3 drives. Just coach up Aaron Jones on pass protection and keep him on the field.
Hold on. Going into like week 4, Pro Football Focus had him rated better than the other 2 in pass protection. So I don't think it's that much difference.
It was now. See, the encouraging sign was towards the end of the game, they kept bringing him back in instead of it doing the alternating drive things with the other 2 guys. So that was encouraging. Maybe Mike McCarthy was like, after that 33-yard run, he's like, oh wow, he really is good at football. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But this was the game that you were hoping for if you were forced to start him like I was. Pretty good game. 12 for 86 and a touchdown. He even caught 2 passes for no yards, but hey, in PPR, that's 2 points.
2 free points.
So great game for him. Now the really disappointing thing was Geronimo Allison disappeared.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about the Packers next week real quick, but you can keep going on about Geronimo Allison.
Well, Geronimo Allison had double-digit points in every PPR fantasy game that he had started, and this one for 14. Valdez-Scantling, however, though, still had 45 yards and a touchdown.
And he had 5 targets. He was second in targets, tied with Randall Cobb.
Yeah, Valdez-Scantling, well, one catch was for 40 yards on its own, and that was a touchdown. He was wide open, busted coverage, but I think Valdez-Scantling might have surpassed Geronimo Allison in this pecking order. Randall Cobb, 4 for 40, bum. But Valdez-Scantling, if you don't have him, you might want to go get him.
So next week, they play the Patriots. Jimmy Graham got a little bit involved, got some targets this game. Didn't really do a whole lot with them. But we've seen the Patriots against tight ends do pretty bad.
Yep.
With Trey Burton had a huge game. Other tight ends
Honestly.
had huge games. Are we looking for Jimmy Graham to be obviously tight end's so bad that you're starting him every week because you probably don't have a better option. But next week and Sunday night?
Yeah, Jimmy Graham actually had some good plays today. There were there was a lot of penalties in this game, first of all. Some of the plays that he made were great, and then there was a penalty called, and it got called back. So Jimmy Graham was involved. This wasn't a situation where he only had 1 for 21, and that was it. He only had 1 target. No, he was being involved. This was a game that was hampered by poor play calling, by penalties, and inconsistency in the running game, and I think that was really what hurt this Packers offense. The defense played so well, especially the first half of the game. They were keeping them in it, but LA is they're just too powerful. Jared Goff, 3 touchdowns, 295 yards. Even Johnny Hecker went ahead and threw for 12 yards too. Why not?
Might as well. Sam Shields, too. Former Packer. Revenge.
And he was so casual about it, too. He's just caught it, and he's like, oh, okay. Didn't even step into the throw or anything. Just threw to Sam Shields for 12
That's
yards.
what he does every time. Like, they run this play so much.
Ugh.
It's ridiculous.
And newsflash, Todd Gurley probably should start him every week.
Yeah, he had a nice little toe tap and catch on the sideline, too, that went off the defender's helmet, making Jared Goff look good out there.
And now, and I like him even more because he's classy. Did you see what he did at the end of the game?
Yeah, he didn't go for the touchdown. He ran the clock out.
What a classy guy.
It is.
Smart.
Yeah, Twitter is not happy about that right now. There's a lot of people that lost bets on this because the spread was 7 points.
I don't care.
If he gets that touchdown, they cover the spread.
Don't be mad at Todd Gurley for putting up almost 200 yards of offense on his own.
Oh, and if you're a fantasy player and you're upset at Todd Gurley, you need to rethink your fantasy team. Because when he gets you 33.5 points in fantasy and you're upset that he didn't get that last touchdown,
shut your mouth.
If you need that last touchdown to win, you are wasting Todd Gurley.
Shut your mouth. He's incredible at football. He's so good. Robert Woods. Brandon Cooks.
Josh Reynolds. Is he a thing until Cooper Kupp comes back? 2 touchdowns.
No.
Is it just he's the other guy, so he'll probably get
open? Yeah. He was just odd man out today. I'm not putting a lot of stock into that.
2 touchdowns.
I don't care. He wasn't targeted like Robert Woods and Brandon Cooks. He was targeted in the red zone, but this offense is so potent. He's not going to be a guy that you can start week in and week out. While Cooper Kupp will be back very soon.
Okay.
But overall, very exciting game. Came down to the very last play. There was about 2 minutes left after the Rams scored that field goal. Kicked it off. Ty Montgomery ran it out. Didn't need to run it out. Could have just kneeled it. Given the ball back to Aaron Rodgers. 2 minutes left. Probably could have won the game.
Yeah, I think on the next one, they're going to have Aaron Rodgers back here just to field it and take the knee and be like, let's go.
Yeah, because Ty Montgomery fumbled it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the trading block or he gets cut.
He ain't getting cut. Mike McCarthy loves him.
I know, because Mike McCarthy's an idiot. Maybe Mike McCarthy should get cut.
Okay.
Okay.
That's probably smart.
All right.
Let's move on to the Raiders at the Colts. Actually, 2 good quarterback plays here. Derek Carr and Andrew Luck both had 3 touchdowns. Both of them almost 250 yards.
Okay.
Do we believe in Derek Carr?
No, God, no.
Okay.
No.
I think it's just a beat-up Colts defense, honestly.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Doug Martin. Is he back?
No.
Okay.
No. And he fumbled.
He did have a fumble. He did have a fumble, but he had 13 for 72 yards. Nobody actually they expected him to have over 40 yards.
There is a guy who is back, though. It's the return of the Mac.
Marlon Mack?
The return of the Mac.
He's really good. And Naheem Hines got 11 carries, too. So Marlon Mack got 25 carries. Naheem Hines got 11 carries. And Andrew Luck threw the ball 31 times. That shows you how many plays they ran in this game.
But how many yards did Marlon Mack get?
He had 132 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Woo! That dude is something else.
He is. I do want to see injury reports because I don't know if you saw last week. He popped up with an ankle halfway through the week.
He was clearly fine.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Jack Doyle's back.
Yep.
I mean, Ebron still had a good game because of his touchdown.
Yep.
But Jack Doyle had more targets.
Yep.
He led the team in targets.
Yep.
And he had 70 yards and a touchdown. So Jack Doyle or Eric Ebron rest of the season.
Oh.
If they both stay healthy, which
I think the rapport with Luck is going to be difficult to overcome. Jack Doyle.
Mo Alley Cox going to cut into that.
No, I don't understand why that happened and T.Y. Hilton went 1 for 34. That really...
Did you see that one-handed catch he had, though? It was an amazing catch. People go out there, check out YouTube, look up Mo Alley Cox. I don't think there's a lot of them out there.
No, it's probably one video, and it's this one.
It's him. It's a one-handed grab. It's nice.
Good for him. Freaking wrecked my week. T.Y. Hilton 1 for 34? Come on, dude.
Well, I don't think that should be as bad as Dontrell Inman with 7 targets.
Dontrell Inman's still not a thing.
All right, so Raiders fans, you're probably really upset. Derek Carr probably isn't too happy. But you know who is really happy? Mrs. Carr. You know why? Because he went to Jared Cook.
Wow. Yeah, reaching on that one.
4 for 74 and a touchdown.
That was so bad.
Went to Jared.
Oh, yeah, he did. He went to Jared Cook.
He did. Because besides Jared Cook and Jalen Richard,
there's no one for him to throw the ball to.
No, Seth Roberts and Brandon LaFell. Jordy did not have a good game.
I didn't realize Brandon LaFell was playing for the Raiders until today.
Until he got that touchdown catch?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he used to play for, like, the Panthers, and he used to play for the Bengals. And
so I think we're going to see the Raiders down a lot. I think you can play, if you need to play, Jalen Richard will be a fringe RB2 every week in PPR because of the pass catching. 8 receptions, 50 yards. I mean, this is not a bad game. We really look at the passing numbers. Running, he didn't do anything. But
so which receiver are you looking to target?
Jared Cook. Oh, he doesn't count?
Okay.
None of them. I don't want anything to do with this. The offensive line's bad. This is a beat-up Colts defense. And next week, they have the 49ers, who's another bad defense. So I picked up Martavis in a couple leagues just because
there were things that were said about him.
And, you know, you're like, okay,
yeah,
might get something out there. He doesn't even get a target.
Didn't need it.
Yeah, I think they could have used it. But they went to Jared. Jared Cook's going to be a top 5 tight end the rest of the year just because of targets.
I can see that happening. Okay, so let's talk about this Saints-Vikings game. Now, the Saints scored 30 points. And do you want to guess how many yards Drew Brees threw for?
300.
Nope. You guess again? You would probably go up.
No,
like,
well, the way you're saying it, I'm going to go down. So I'm going to guess it's like 150.
120.
Dang, that's efficient.
That's 18 for 23, 120 yards. He did throw his first interception of the year, but he added to that touchdown total too. Taysom Hill even threw a deep ball for 44 yards to Michael Thomas. Kamara was really the only stud in this game.
The kicker, Will Lutz.
Will Lutz, 16 points. Good for you, Will Lutz. But that was really the only stud out of that side. Now, the other side, Kirk Cousins threw for 359 yards.
And 3 touchdowns, technically.
Yeah.
I mean,
he threw one. It was so bad. I thought Jameis Winston threw it. It was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. It was right after a play where they thought he fumbled the ball away too, so maybe he was
like, who cares?
He's like, I wasn't supposed to have the ball anyway here. If I just still pick 6, we can just reset this whole series again.
$84 million guaranteed. Who cares? That's what he said. Who cares? He said, you like that? You like that?
What about Latavius Murray?
He's a must start until...
And we're hearing that Cook might not come back till after the bye, which is week 10. So week 11, Pat just messaged me, said champs.
Yeah.
So I guess Boston closed it out.
He's very excited. Congratulations.
Here you go. Hold
Boston.
on. This is for Pat, because I know Pat's going to listen. The Red Sox winning. Red Sox. World Series champions.
Good for you, Red Sox.
Hopefully Pat shows up to work sober tomorrow.
I doubt it. Now, I will say this. This was a great game for Latavius Murray, especially in PPR, because he had 5 catches for 39 yards. But Thielen and Diggs both had good games. And Thielen kept the 100-yard streak alive.
He did. So both these wide receivers can be good. We have had weeks this year where they've both been good. I think they finally started going a little deeper to Diggs last week. He got a lot of targets, but they were all like at the line of scrimmage. And I don't think they were scared of any of these corners on the Saints.
No.
Eli Apple or Marcus Lattimore, because Marcus Lattimore has not been right since Diggs did what Diggs did to him in the playoffs.
R.I.P. R.I.P. Hey, we're winning our podcast league.
If we lose in this league, this guy started 2 guys on the IR.
Doesn't matter. We're winning.
Yeah, if we lost this one, I was quitting.
Doesn't matter. We're winning.
We were shutting down the show. Me and Pat already talked about it.
We're winning. We're not shutting down the show. I would just start another show. I got like a million ideas for show ideas.
Josh.
What?
Oh, no. I thought you were going with the whole thing. I was going to say Josh. And you're like, that's one.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, all right.
Josh Fantasy Football Podcast.
Anything else from this? Mark Ingram got a lot of work at the end when they were just milking the clock.
It does look to me like
Alvin Kamara is the lead guy.
Yeah.
And Mark Ingram was going to be the
use them when you need them kind of guy.
Yeah. The burn the clock out, pound it up the middle guy.
I think they know Alvin Kamara is a playmaker. And he's going to be the guy that's going to get work.
And he's going to be the guy that's there next year. Because we know Mark Ingram's not coming back next year, and they're not franchise tagging him.
No, he's done.
So
he's done. I think the drug suspension or the steroid suspension, whatever, performance enhancing drugs.
No, we skipped a game because we're doing Sunday night, and I completely forgot. We never covered the 49ers Cardinals yet.
Does anyone really care?
I mean,
okay, all right. Well, we'll go to that game then. But Kirk Cousins, stardom, Diggs and Thielen, both amazing games. Good job. Kyle Rudolph still is just killing your team. 4 for 39. I cannot say that enough. How I think Kyle Rudolph, you need to start looking for other options.
Yeah, because he's not getting the touchdowns in the end zone.
It'd be one thing if, and this was a game when he was actually heavily targeted. 4 for 39. I mean, he was targeted even more than 4 catches, but it's not happening for him this year. It looks like it's going to be the Thielen show.
Yep.
All right.
I agree. So let's go back to this game, the 49ers Cardinals. We'll close it out with this game because, finish on a high note. 15-18, the Cardinals win. Score 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Good for you, Cardinals. Hey, Byron Leftwich.
Said he was going to use David Johnson more like Bruce Arians did. He did. He lined him up outside. He would throw him screen passes. He got him to the outside, try to get him, work that way. He had 4 catches for 41 yards, which is the most targets we've seen him have since week 1.
I can't believe these are professional football teams.
What do you mean? They're really good. Josh Rosen looked terrible until that fourth quarter. He looked bad.
Really bad.
And he was getting rushed pretty hard, too. There was nobody stopping him on the offensive line.
I don't care. He's really bad.
Did you see Richard Sherman's sack where he was lined up on the edge, said, hey, I'm coming this way, and the tackle and the tight end said, yeah, it's cool. You're not coming. You're lying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're not going to do anything.
Yeah, this is just awful game.
Larry Fitzgerald, though, 8 for 102 and a touchdown, and then Christian Kirk had 42 yards and a touchdown.
Larry didn't do a lot early on, but the entire offense didn't do a lot early on.
No.
Josh Rosen did end up throwing the ball 40 times. Do you feel like because now Byron Leftwich, which is part of the Bruce Arians coaching tree, He was part of this team last year.
Yeah, he was brought in there by Arians to run the Arians style offense.
Do you think that David Johnson, who had 4 catches, 41 yards, 16 carries for 59 yards, and then Larry Fitzgerald had another good game, do you feel like maybe these guys will be fantasy relevant again?
It can't be worse than what was there before.
Okay, yeah, but what I'm asking is, do you think that Fitzgerald in particular, do you feel like he will be startable again?
I think that Byron Leftwich will set up smart, fast plays for Josh Rosen to get the ball to these guys where they can make stuff happen. They were lining up David Johnson wide on the outside and running like wide receiver screens, but to David Johnson instead of a wide receiver, which is good ways to get David Johnson the ball in space against safeties and corners that he can beat, instead of plowing him up the middle where the offensive line is bad and everything about the team is bad.
No, I thought that was a great idea.
What about the other side of the ball? C.J. Beathard was a dud.
I was kind of surprised by that because he had been playing fairly well.
Arizona's defense isn't horrendous.
No, I started them in a league.
And then Matt Breida was pretty underwhelming. He did get 16 carries, but just 42 yards.
Marquise Goodwin, though.
He had that bomb.
If you're going to catch one, it better be for a touchdown.
Just like John Brown and Robbie Anderson. They're all the same type of guy.
I don't know. I felt like Marquise Goodwin's a better route runner. George Kittle was okay in PPR, but even an underwhelming game for him. It was an underwhelming game for the entire offense.
Yeah, until that last quarter, it looked like a crappy baseball score. Honestly, about at halftime, I had jokes going about, because I was going to say San Francisco at Arizona. It was going to be a Diamondbacks-Giants joke because it was a sweet baseball score.
Dude, this was a boring, awful game. Awful.
Yep, and that's how we're going to end the show. Woohoo!
No.
Quick notes, though. Want to say if you're a Will Fuller owner or just anybody out there, Kiki QT, because Will Fuller is out for the year, will be a great waiver wire pickup this year if people did drop him after his injury.
Didn't you?
Yeah, I dropped him.
You dropped him.
Had to.
You had to.
Had to make moves.
But it's good because the Will Fuller owner in our league will be able to just scoop him right up.
Nope, because that person won a game, so now they're not going to be number one on waivers.
Oh.
First time all year.
Oh, there you go. Karma's very real. Be careful. All right. Awesome. Well,
anything else you want to bring up before we close it out, Josh?
No, I'm excited to see what's going to happen next week.
Next week isn't it one of the bipocalypses?
Yes. And I'm playing a team that owns some Eagles, and I'm very excited. Actually.
Eagles, Jaguars. Who else is on a bye that week? It's one of the bipocalypse. We'll talk about it in the pregame show. We're not going to keep you guys here all day while we research this.
Thank you for joining us another fantastic episode on the Empty Wagon Fantasy Podcast. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter. We got an Instagram. We got Facebook. We got everything. Just get us up on our social media. You never know when we're going to be doing another giveaway. Please tell your friends. Tell your friends to tell their friends about your friends, about listening to our podcast. We do what we can for you guys. You're always allowed to message us on Twitter. Always allowed to go ahead and just send in your emails, whatever you want. Hit up us on our website, whatever you want to do, so we can make sure we help you win your week and win your league.
Yeah, concur.
Okay.
Later.
Congrats, Red Sox.